keep it going for all the other comics you've been listening to. How great are they? So, any other like painfully single people in the audience tonight? A lot of pain. I know the feeling. I've been trying to date lately. It's hard though, right? I don't know. The hardest part about dating, I find, when you live at home with your parents, trying to come clean about it, right? Because like women say they appreciate honesty, but apparently there's a limit, okay? Usually involves the answer to why both my roommates are 68 and have the same last name as me. I'm like, oh, crazy coincidence, I promise. Oh, man. Can you believe that? That's why I miss COVID so much, you know? Because like everybody moved back home, so it finally felt like my lifestyle choices were considered socially acceptable. Like, can we bring that back, please? Remember the start of COVID, all my friends were like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm moving back home with my parents. Meanwhile, like, I've been doing that shit for years, you know? I was just over here like, I can show you the world. I felt like a Disney princess, you know? Not paying rent is so splendid. It's great. I never understood all those people protesting the government for the lockdowns, you know? Like, I was not one of them, okay? Let me tell you, as a lifelong recluse, I never felt more patriotic than when the government said I wasn't allowed to go outside anymore. I was like, you mean I don't have to talk to anybody? Sir, yes, sir. Feels like I've been doing 5 tours of duty at this point, folks, you know? Uncle Sam sent me a check for $1,200 to thank me for my service. Like, life was great, okay? What were you guys complaining about? I don't know, I think I'm just bitter, you know? Because, like, I can't go back from that, right? It was like suddenly the entire world was following in my footsteps. Do you know what that kind of validation feels like to a narcissist? No. You couldn't possibly understand. Well, you know, it was like being a doomsday prepper, right? Because like everybody thinks your life choices are completely crazy until doomsday, okay? During COVID, I was at my peak. Now it's all over. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all my jars of pee? I can't drink this all by myself. Believe me, I've tried. So I should probably come clean about this now. My parents are here tonight. I mean, it's like, duh. How do you think I got here, people? Come on. No, they're here. I have really supportive parents. Anyone else have just like irresponsibly supportive parents? Yeah, give it up for them. I told my mom I wanted to be a comedian, and instead of freaking out, she was ecstatic. She was trying to help me like punch up my jokes. She's like, you know, sweetie, maybe if you changed it from pussy to cunt, you might get a bigger laugh. Foul mouth that woman has, all right? Let me tell you. Oh my God. No, we were talking about COVID earlier, right? I can admit, a lot of people did really have a hard time during COVID, right? I think the person who had the hardest time, though, it's got to be Jeffrey Toobin. Remember him? For the rest of you who haven't caught up yet, he was that legal analyst from CNN who got in trouble for masturbating on a Zoom call. Ooh. Afterwards, he said he spent a lot of time volunteering at a food bank, which, I don't know if that's the way you want to make amends, right? Because you were already caught once for being disgusting with your hands. Like, maybe don't double down by putting in other people's food, right? Yikes. But I don't know, on the other hand, like, I think it is kind of nice that he found a way to turn his embarrassment into something positive. It's like, look, if I had to volunteer at a food bank every time I masturbated, people, trust me, we would have solved world hunger like 17 years ago, okay? Seriously. You'd be like shipping food to other planets at this point, all right? People accuse me of being a serial masturbator. I'm like, cereal, pizza, whatever you want, come on. So I'm a lawyer during the day. I think that checks out, right? What's hard about being a lawyer is that like people automatically assume you're a good lawyer, you know? Like, there's like a whole bell curve of lawyers out there, right? Like, I don't really get how a bell curve works, but that should probably tell you what kind of lawyer I am. It's crazy because we go to law school, the first thing they tell you is, we're not going to teach you how to be a lawyer here. We're going to teach you how to think like a lawyer. I was like, all right, well, I think I just threw away $100,000. They were like, welcome to the profession. No, the hardest part being a lawyer, though, for real, all those lawyer stereotypes, right? We're all just a bunch of lying, greedy little schemers. Yes. Only out to get other people's money. Hate that shit. Makes me want to quit the profession. And I remember I'm Jewish and people already think that about me anyway. It's like, fuck it, right? Can't win. I got one more story for you, and then I get out of here. But when I told my parents I was moving back home, they didn't really freak out, which I thought was kind of odd. And I remember as a kid every summer, they used to send me to bowling camp. So now I'm starting to think, maybe they just never believed in me? It's like my dad handed me a bowling ball one day, you better get used to it, son, because those are the only holes anyone's ever going to let you stick your fingers in. Seriously, bowling camp, I don't know about now, but growing up, bowling alleys weren't the best places for young children, right? Bunch of drunk slobs with questionable views on women. Wait, we can all agree, right? A bowling alley is just a country club for poor people, right? It sucked because most of my friends spent their summers just laying out by the pool. Mine were spent hiding behind the payphone trying not to get molested, okay? I had this bowling instructor, Linda. She hated that bowling had such a lousy reputation, but she always yell at us for using outdated terminology. She'd be like, don't call it a bowling alley, it's a bowling center. It's not a gutter ball, it's a channel ball. I was like, all right, Linda, but an old cooter here on lane 7, he keeps trying to shove his cock in my ass. What should I call that? Folks, I'm going to call that the end of my set. You guys were great. Thank you so much.